So I'm really curious on who decided that men get their plate first when it's time to eat. Why isn't it kids, mom, then dad?
Our sister is asking that why is it that men are the one that get the biggest piece of meat when it comes to food, when it comes to giving sharing food, right? And when it comes to eating, men are the ones that eat first. If you grew up in African home, because I grew up in African home, so I'm gonna give that as an example. If you want to serve, or if the women are done cooking in the kitchen, when it's time to serve, they serve the man plate first. They serve the men, the fathers, the brothers, and all of that plate first before they serve children or wives. In fact, the men, the children, then the wife. If there's no longer food after you're done cooking as a woman, it's like a glory or something. So the thing is, she's asking that why is it that the men, well, who started it? Why are they starting that kind of thing? And why is it that men get the biggest piece of meat? And that is it. If you want to serve the men, after the women are done cooking in the kitchen, if you want to serve the men, you give them 2 or 3 pieces of chicken or meat or beef, anything. But when it comes to the rest of the family, you cut it into pieces. Let me show you all this video.
I'm really curious on who decided that men get their plate first when it's time to eat. Why isn't it kids, mom, then dad? Why the fuck would dad get the biggest piece of chicken?
Sure.
When all the fuck he did was go to work? No shade. Of course you can be the one who's making the money, but why would you eat before the kids? And then why would you eat before me? The fuck? Are you dumb? Yeah, that's the patriarchy shit. Because I'm a firm believer and my man is not eating before me or the kids. I'm sorry. Bitch, the kids is getting their first bite. How is it? And then I'm getting a second home. And then you get yours. Big, hungry, fat ass.
Men responded. Of course. Men responded. Let's watch this reaction video together and I'll share my thoughts. But like to know your thoughts down in the comment section. Respectfully, as always.
I'm really curious on who decided that men get their plate first when it's time to eat. Why isn't it kids, mom, then dad? Why the fuck would dad get the biggest piece of chicken when all the fuck he did was go to work? No shade. Of course you can be the one who's making the money, but why would you eat before the kids? And then why would you eat before me? Are you dumb? That's the patriarchy shit. I'm a firm believer and my man is not eating before me or the kids.
Just date a woman. Matter of fact, just be single. G-Lock said, I guess because he's the one providing everything for the house, he's the reason they even eating. And she's going to say she's the reason the table is made, though. Without her, he wouldn't be there. Huh? This is the same girl that said men need to teach their sons how to build a house. So you want your man to build a house for you, and you want to eat first. You don't want a man, you want a slave. Like, actually, in my household, nobody eats until everybody's sitting at the table. That's just how it is. We take grace together, we eat together. That's what it is. However, if your household is just a household of whoever gets their food first just eats, I can understand why the man would get his food first. Speaking specifically about the situation that you just said, that he's providing 100% financially, he's working every day. Without him, that roof over your head wouldn't be there. Without him, that food on the plate wouldn't be there. Without him, that plate that the food is on wouldn't be there. Without him, the electricity needed for the electric stove to cook the food in the pans and blah, blah, blah wouldn't be there. And honestly, how long is it taking you to make plates? How long is it taking you to make plates? You don't make all the plates and then hand them out. You're making one plate at a time. And is it taking you like 5 minutes a piece to make a single plate? About time it's dinner time. Man's probably just getting off work, haven't ate all day, done provided, probably been in the sun 10 hours out the day. And you complaining about him getting his food 10 seconds before everybody else. You just said, why does he get the biggest piece of chicken and get his plate 10 seconds before everybody else when all he does is work? You are a unappreciative, selfish person. And that's okay. Just be single.
So I'm really curious on who decided that men get their plate first.
What difference does it make? I mean, in my house is me, my wife, and my kid. And when it's time to dinner's ready, and then everybody just make their plate. I don't understand why this is a thing. Like, why this is a topic of conversation, why you took the time out your day to say this shit. And then even if I were to entertain the silly shit, yes, because a man works all day, he is the provider. That's why. Because men don't get Go look at Chris Rock's joke. Go listen to Ali Sadiq. Like, people have talked about it ad nauseum. You just wanted to say the word patriarchy. Yes, men get shit on. So the little bits of bones of respect that we get, we appreciate.
Is that men get their plate first when it's time to eat? Why isn't it kids?
All right, so let me answer this for you. The reason why the men get to play first because the men's are the providers and the protectors. So if something happens first, the men's gonna end up catching it. See, all we get is a little small slice of heaven, and that's us getting to eat first. Considering the fact that when we walk down the street, if a car jumps the curb, guess who's gonna get hit first? The man, because we on the outside of the curb. You get what I'm saying? See, the man is supposed to provide and protect, and you all are supposed to give us a safe haven for us to help us provide and protect. Also, the reason why we eat first is because it used to feel good for a grown-ass woman to cook for her hard-working ass man, to send him back out there to go get that money. And if it means he gonna have a big full-ass stomach on his way back to go making that money, then so fucking be it. The kids, they ain't gonna do shit but play and go to sleep. So hell yeah, of course, most of the time they gonna ass because they not even ready to get to the table at the time that it's time to eat. Okay? Yes, the man is supposed to eat first if he's a provider. Honestly, in my eyes, whoever provides should eat first. Don't get me wrong, if I'm at work, yeah, let the kids eat or whatever, but shit, half you survived in the 70s and 60s and the 50s and the 40s. Y'all wasn't strong enough to be them women because y'all got too much mouth and y'all afraid of tradition. Tradition hurts y'all.
So I'm really curious on who decided that men get their plate first when
I guess once I address you once, they're gonna start feeding me your shit. First, last, whatever. How about this? How about we get back to sitting down as a family at the same time, eating together, talking to each other, and actually talking about one another's day? Hard to do that since you don't believe in family, but you want to blame the patriarchy. Because everything comes with competitive words, competition, comparison. Everything. First, that's a word of comparison. That is a word of competition. When do y'all ever talk about together? You have completely lost the vernacular of us, we, and together. These are words we never, ever hear you mention. You can't even cook, and y'all are talking about who get their plate first. The video I responded to of yours yesterday, you talked about changing your tire and shit like that, and you can't give them a plate. You want to? Oh, you do. Why would you get your food first? Why would you expect me to come fix your tire? That's your tire. You talking about patriarchy? No, nothing in this world is free. Nothing. And the sad truth is, the video that I responded to you yesterday, I didn't go watch any of your other videos. I knew that this was your attitude and I mentioned it. You want someone to do all of the strenuous work for you, but you don't even want to give them the big piece of chicken. Fuck. God bless, show. Oh. By the way, God said I'm first. Everything that y'all push back on goes against what God said. God, man, woman, child. If it comes to you sacrificing your life for me, would you? If you heard a noise, are you getting up? I gotta be the first one to go if somebody gotta go. So fix my plate and shut the God bless, show. Oh.
These men are exhausting. Listening to them sometimes, I don't know. They're so exhausting. Seriously. Because I don't know what she's asking. I don't know what they are saying. She just says she's not going to give you food. She's asking that who started it? Why is it that you guys have to get the biggest piece of meat? And they're complaining about them jumping in front of buses, them changing tires. That is why they need the biggest. They are the one that is providing. They're the one that put the food on the table. They enjoy going to work and coming back, and there's a grown ass woman that have made food and giving them the biggest food in the house. That's just their problem. And they're afraid to say that it's patriarchy. It is how the system they set up the system. That is it. They don't want to say it because they know that it's not supposed to be so. Because how will you slave in the kitchen? Because as women, sometimes you might not even feel like cooking, but you have to if you're a married woman, right? and you have husband, especially if you're a traditional married woman, stay at home wife, you have to slave in the kitchen. Especially if you have men that don't want to do anything, men like this that stitch the video, right? So they believe that after you slave in the kitchen, you slave all your life slaving in the kitchen, you have to serve your man first before serving the children. You give the man the biggest piece of meat. In fact, when they are slaughtering animal for meat and probably chicken and goats, whatever kind of animal you eat, they always preserve the biggest size for the man of the house. And the thing is, why does it have to be so? Why is it not that the woman that does the whole wahala in the kitchen, why is she not eating the biggest meat? She's not going to. In fact, if it's just two meats or three meats, she will distribute it to the family. She would rather eat without meat or without chicken in her food, just for peace to reign. But it will not happen like that. A man will not just decide to eat the food if there's no piece of chicken in the meat or piece of fish or whatever. He will not eat it. Or he's going to ask. But a woman is going to be okay to eat it. Like, why is it like that? That's the question. Why is it like that? Of course it's patriarchy. Of course it's the way they set up the system. Men, they've already set it up like that. That is why it is like that in families as well. That these children are the ones that need the best protein even way more than the fathers. The children need 2 eggs, three. They need to eat as well. They need to eat meat. They need to eat chicken. They need it in their system. But then, sometimes they don't even give the children the chicken. They give the man. They pack all your meat in the pot and give the man to eat. While the children only eat probably rice with no chicken. Why is it like that? And they are saying that they jump in front of cars. I don't think I've seen any video of any woman say, "Oh my God, my husband got unalive because he jumped in front of the car when something wanted to protect us." They always act like they are providing and protecting, but when it's time to protect, they hide. They're nowhere to be found. And how many times do you get to protect? How many times do you get to eat the big chicken in the pot? Sometimes listening to these men can be very exhausting. I just feel like, you guys, what is your take on this video? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. Respectfully, as always, Sugar Mara Davidson. And thank you so much for tuning in today's video. I hope you enjoyed this one. Please like and share and subscribe. And I'll see you in my next video, guys. Bye.